I still have that pesky YouTube time limit.
Hopefully,
This will help you get rid of it.
I was gonna say, hopefully a few good playthroughs will help me get rid of it.
Orta something.
Beyond the boundaries of stuff.
Of the mortal world. She's in the computer now. She's gonna find the truth.
Digimon. Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
The truth.
Also
Will
truth.
set us free.
Apparently setting free.
I'm a really bad singer.
Forbidden memories. Holy crap, that was a really big human thing.
Should be level.
What?
Yeah.
That's all this level is. This Trippy. I like the dead leaf and the dead leaf pattern in this little tube we're in.
Yeah.
Something I really enjoy about this game is how, like, there's, like, your combat is in all 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, like, in front of you or behind you.
It's one of those things, like, I don't like because it kills me, but at the same time, yes, it is a very good
to pay
facet of
attention.
it. Yeah. It's a game that takes skill. Surprising in the modern world.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bad thing about games that take skill is that, well, they take skill.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention, you lose a little bit of skill and you die.
And when you're old men like us, you can't take the time to hone that skill.
The Stein. I can take the Stein.
I can take all the steins. I don't know. I feel like that about WoW. It's like, I could be a lot better at that game, but I don't want to take the time to do it, because I feel like there's enough of a payoff to be better at it.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to play some of the older games that I have a lot more, but not very many of you guys actually play those older games. So it's one of those, like, I'm only playing them to experience them and not to share my experience with. Like, if I were to share my experience with you guys, aside from recording it, there's not really much way for me to go, it's like, oh, you remember that cool part of the game, or you remember that fun plot twist, or whatever. Or how did you get past that stupidly difficult part?
Yeah.
Like, I want to play all the Ultimate games, because those are some real fun games. I was playing 4 at one time, and, you know, I was having tons of fun with it, with my pen and paper notebook, keeping track of everything.
Did you see the Richard Garriott interviews?
Yes.
I only saw the first part.
Whoa.
I like him.
Cool.
I like him. I'm sad that I missed the Kickstarter now.
What was the Kickstarter for?
Shroud of the Avatar.
It was basically to make it like a brand new Ultima game, but without the Ultima license, wasn't it?
I believe so. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being Ultima 9 as it should have been.
I wouldn't either. Because
I would like to see that, or, you know, one of those along those lines.
Richard Garriott was the man.
Yeah. Just sucks that he is like, fuck you in this game. But yeah, it's like listening to, you know, learning the story and, you know, the background of the Ultima games, they are excellent games. I'm surprised hardly anybody knows about them now, which sucks.
And I think it goes to show, like, the current culture of gaming.
Yeah.
Of, like, not that indie games don't get attention, because there are quite a few indie games that do. But, like, it's all based on, like... No, I don't...
The gaming culture in general right now is too focused on the now.
Yeah.
As opposed to why, you know, what makes a great game.
Yeah.
Why make great when good sells?
Pretty much. Which sucks, because I'd rather have a game I can play. Like, I've gotten, what, 7 or 8 solid years out of World of Warcraft before I really started to kind of, like, not care as much. So, it's like, you know, I'd rather have a game I can sink my teeth into for a very long time, and where the game can, you know, where your skill in that game can mean something, than just have a really kind of crappy game that you play, because it's the game that everyone plays right now.
Yeah. That's what I've been liking my retro games is, okay, sure, not very many people's playing them, but they're mostly single player games, so why does it matter?
Yeah. It's what I've really been enjoying out of Skyrim and um, the Saints Row games right
Yeah.
now. Is that, like, they're just something I do by myself. Because if I play a multiplayer game, I want to play competitively and I want to be better every time I play.
Yeah.
Which doesn't always happen, but Heavy is credit the team in this one.
He is. Heavy is very much credit to you.
I remember this boss on my playthrough, from my original playthrough, and it gave me a lot of trouble.
That was a pretty excellent dodge, if I say so myself. Fired the laser, switch and boost.
So, what do you have any games that you like to play by yourself, Sir Remu?
Nah, at the moment, no, but I've been thinking about it more and more because, like, for the last couple months, I've been playing the crap out of MechWarrior, which has been really fun with the unit that I'm part of.
Level up.
But at the same time, I've also been, like, getting a little bit burned out on playing against people or having to socialize all the time. So every once in a while, I've been hitting up Mass Effect 3 again, but I played that so much over the last year that I'm also kind of like,
Burn out on it.
whatever. So today I pulled out my Xbox and my Xbox 360 and started playing through Halo stuff again, just to experience the Halo stuff.
Yeah, I think there needs to be another, not really a revival, but like kind of resurgence of games meant to be played with like by yourself or up to like a couple of your friends.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the problem with that is listening to interviews from free-to-play developers and other developers are like, okay, so like specifically with the MechWarrior franchise was a great example of this. Like they were originally going to come out with a single player game, and then they decided to come up with a multiplayer or with a free to play multiplayer game. And when they were asked why, it basically came down to a couple things, and the most important of them is money, because it's really hard to get money for a single player game because a lot of gamers don't realize how much money it takes to fund a single player or an expansive single player game for the Xbox or PlayStation or PC that has a lot of content and is worthwhile. And so what happens is, like, when you go to basically ask for money from the game developers, or not the game developers, but the people that have money to put forward, they're gonna look at you and go, okay, what franchise are you playing with? And if it's not one of those big franchises, then they have to decide whether they take a risk or not. And that generally they will not go with a risk.
Yeah.
So I would like one of my big things of all time in my want to be a video game developer is I've been plotting out for a very long time trying to put together an incredible single player experience, but I realized at the end of all this, how am I going to do that with pretty much no money?
Yeah.
It would be awesome if I could, though.
The I've been thinking about that with the shooter. The idea for a FPS that we had, and I pretty much came to the conclusion that like if we make a single player version of this, um, all it would be a tutorial for the multiplayer aspect. And at that point, why not just make tutorial missions that don't take very long and then basically let you run wild in multiplayer?
So maybe like the 360 version of Shadowrun, except better.
Pretty much. But I mean, like at that point,
But yeah.
Because basically how I planned it out was like each boss fight was to teach you something.
Yeah.
And like you would get a little bit of lead up, enough gameplay to like kind of satisfy the fact that hey, I'm shooting stuff. But when it all came down to it, I ended up just being like, this is all really just wasted development time and money because no one's like it's gonna be like a 1-2 hour experience and everyone's gonna if like the game is remembered for anything, it will be its multiplayer aspect, not its single player aspect.
Yeah. And then the part.
So what kind of happened? She found her mother in the Matrix?
Yes, and I think I'm not certain if she knew, but apparently I want to say Orta just learned her name. I wasn't paying full attention, but it said Orta. Your name is Orta,
Yeah, I don't think anyone really told her before.
and this is Abad being like, okay, you're not going to kill like I was hoping you would, so um, yeah, I'm gonna make you by being you.
I'm gonna take you over.
Yep,
Then I'm gonna IG-88 this stuff.
exactly.
Why you gotta play a hate on
Poke.
IG-88?